I'm going to ask you just your own personal walk with God.
Yes.
For when you would say for you, your personal life about walking closely with the Lord, what does that look like for you? And also, what do you believe God's calling for just every believer? Are they getting to a place I know God's grace is on it, but what does that look like for you about having a close walk with the Lord?
You know, I tell the Lord a lot, Lord, I need you every second of every hour of every day. And I tell him that a lot. And with my walk with the Lord, there's a few things. I start my day off with the Lord. Okay. So when I wake up, I immediately say good morning to the Lord, and I'm praying and I'm in the word. I am putting him first. He deserves to be first. I am setting my day in order where he has to come first and everything else has to come second to that. It has to do with really being willing to listen to what he has to say, even when it sounds crazy. There are things he's told me lately, like I'll give you an example. Just recently on the 18th of January, that a satellite was going to fall from space, from orbit, back down to Earth as a sign that God is above anything they can put into the atmosphere.
Wow, come
so
on.
That's really far, you know what I mean? That's a little far out there. But the Lord said it, and I wrote it down. Also, it has to do with submission and surrender. And that sometimes is the hardest thing for people, is trusting the Lord with your life more than you trust yourself with your life. And I tell people where I belong before any broadcast, before anywhere I have to speak, I belong on my face before the Lord, and I mean it. That's where I belong. I belong in that position of submission before him and surrender, because I have to come into alignment with his will and what he wants to say. And that's part of walking in the authority and power of Almighty God, is that submission and knowing your place. And I talk to the Lord throughout the day. I talk to him about funny things too. Like, gee, Lord, I wonder how Jesus felt about this on the earth. You know what I mean? Like there's a constant communication with him. Even when I don't like something, he's big enough to handle you telling him when you don't like something. Just be ready for the answer he gives you, because, you know, the answer may be different than you thought. So it's about that constant knowing you have to lean on the Lord, and you need that grace in your life. That's a function that he gives to endure what you humanly couldn't endure. You know, in my case, we have the animal sanctuary, which is a call in itself. Most ministries don't have animal sanctuaries. This is what happens when you let the Lord completely take hold of what is being built. And I have my husband with the traumatic brain injury. And that takes a lot of trust in the Lord in a marriage to get through something like that. It does, because your entire marriage changes. And as long as you keep the Lord first in it, he gives you the grace and the love to walk that out together. And you're able to endure what others can't physically endure because of that grace. And that comes with that close communion with the Lord. You know, I take communion multiple times a week as well. I do. Every time there's a broadcast, every time I have to do something, I'm taking communion before that, because I'm putting in remembrance what Jesus did for me, what he did for others when he died. I'm acknowledging that sacrifice before the Father. That, to me, all of these things is part of walking in close communion with God.
You just gave a ton of amazing keys. So I hope they make a clip out of that. Paul, I hope you make a clip out of that, of all she just said, because it is, everything you said is a piece to the puzzle of the fullness of coming to know God for yourself and serving God and walking with God. It's a daily thing that we do with him, and it's a beautiful life to walk with God in that way.